This is a good spot, Carl. I actually like this.
Oh, this is much better. It's better than the bookshelf.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, now the bookshelf's starting to get some normal cover. Look. Hey, I'm Seaton Humphreys, one of the strength coaches here at Athletes Authority. We've just got Fergus here today, who I've been working with for the past 10 months.
Yeah, October we started.
Yep. Just a pleasure to have him come in and talk some shop to us and give us some opinions about what it was like to be here in Australia, head over to New Zealand and do online coaching, and then he's come back, and it's a pleasure to have him in the gym again. So Ferg, how was it to, you're a rugby player?
Yep.
How did we come about to meet?
We came about to meet, would have been October 2017, started pre-season, new S&C at Gordon. I took over from Carl, and that's how we met in bottom of Athletes Authority.
Yeah. You repping the OG hat, mate?
Yeah, the old hat. Yeah, I remember the first day here I bought that one.
Mate, what things coming into this season were you really looking to improve that may not have come about from last season or previous trainings? The Athletes Authority and particularly myself were able to help facilitate.
Well, one of the first things I mentioned was actually my speed and strength. I mean, one of my biggest weaknesses, I would say, is my ball carrying was last year, and I remember we had one-on-one sessions outside of the S&C program as well, which was based around speed and agility, but mainly just strength, going into contact and breaking through tackles. That was my main goals when we started.
At the start of the season, you came in with some injuries. That was kind of a reoccurring thing over the previous seasons. Talk us a little bit about that and the differences in the training that's helped with.
Well, I've been a bit unlucky. I've had several injuries, a couple injuries to my neck, as well as an ACL reco when I was 13, followed by started pre-season in 2017 where I did my meniscus again, my left knee. So I've always had limitations through my left side, and it didn't help as well. I had a condition called ankylosing spondylitis, so I'm constantly quite tight in preparation for games. So I know we tackled it a different way. So that first testing session we did, there was really big inequalities from my left to my right side, and we sort of went from there. Yeah.
Just to give you guys a bit of context, Fergus had about over a metre discrepancy for a triple hop, and quite a large discrepancy, or quite low scores on his squat jump and his counter movement jump. Mate, you've hit some massive goals over this year. I know that you're always striving to go into the professional setting. How did that work out for you this year? What achievements were you able to make during the season?
Well, I think excuse my voice. The main achievement was actually transitioning from sort of a hooker to a back to playing in number 8. Something I never really thought I could do, but just following your system that we started with day one made me more versatile in terms of the way I played the game, and it was quite interesting when I got a nod in the back row in New Zealand, and I took it with both open arms, and I developed from there. But I think that gives me better qualities moving forward to the next level, hopefully.
Oh, good. I mentioned to start off with, but also you just mentioned there, you went over to New Zealand. Now we maintained our training. How did you find it going from being here to going over to New Zealand and carrying across? How was the transition, and how was the service that I was able to give you?
Well, firstly, I was touching the service. I think that was pretty phenomenal. I mean, you were there almost, I wouldn't say 24/7, but you.
Please do.
But you were there whenever I needed you. I mean, sometimes I'll call you from the gym in New Zealand on Facebook Messenger, message you, what's this, what's that. You'll send me videos of everything I needed to do. Probably the hardest thing was trying to implement some of the training methods that we've been doing here into just a mainstream gym where you're dealing with, 60-year-old men and women.
Geriatrics.
Geriatrics. I didn't want to say it. I don't know if that's allowed on camera. But yeah, in that sort of gym from a purely a strength and conditioning athlete's gym to generic sort of gym. So that was a big challenge for me, and I couldn't complete some of the movements purely because there was a lack of equipment.
Yeah.
But we tried and worked together to, replicate certain exercises.
Yeah. And unfortunately over there you had a bit of little injury again, just as you were coming into your own.
Yep.
And looking to get into that rep side for the New Zealand.
I mean, I was very close. I came back for a week. We had a coffee and catch up, and my coach back home nominated me to make the NPCB side, I was really chuffed about that. Got back off the plane, and unfortunately I broke the top of my ulnar, which is a bit of a freak accident. A bit tough to hear, but I mean, I think the moment I found out, I messaged you that day saying, Seaton, I broke my arm, I need help, and we went from there pretty much. Yeah.
You put in a massive effort over that 6 weeks as well, and I think it's fair to say that you've come back and stepped into Shoot Shield again, like as a filler for the team.
Yep.
To help them out in the back end and just keep your match fitness and make the results that you had as soon as you came back from New Zealand, in going from, as we mentioned previously, the 1.5 or 1.2 metre discrepancy. Overall, you improved both your left and your right by over a metre on a triple hop.
Yeah, that's very surprising that.
And then you decreased your difference between them to only 20 centimetres rather than 1.2.
Yep.
And both your CMJ and your squat jump all improved. I was pretty chuffed by that. Just coming off a GPP of just doing massive volume, it just goes to show that since we hadn't tested in January, since before you left to New Zealand,
yep,
the hard work you'd done over there, and then that last 6 weeks, I was pretty surprised the GPP didn't affect that too much. So, mate, it was all round good results.
It was unreal to see those results. I know it was quite disappointing from my end that I didn't really achieve what I wanted to this year, because we put in a lot of hard work for it. But to see those, I suppose, massive improvements, with those jumps is pretty unreal, and it makes you more motivated to keep going and find your purpose within your training to succeed and get to the next level, hopefully.
Well, mate, you're like the best person I've ever worked with, because whatever I give to you, you'll do it and you won't complain about it. You'll just tell me how you can progress it next week. You're one of those guys which I need to pull back sometimes and just settle the reins a little bit.
Yep.
So Ferg, now that you're back from NZ and you're into the gym full time, and you're in here as a full-time ADP athlete, what are you liking about the gym in comparison to when you're over in NZ or when you've worked out at Fitness First or anything like that?
Well, firstly, would be to be surrounded with like-minded people who all have a purpose with their training to try, whether it, with athletics or rugby, that they're all trying to make it in that sport. I think that's a big thing, and that gives you the motivation to keep working hard every day when you come here. I suppose secondly is when you bring in different techniques. We're using that gym aware, that velocity, speed training is quite amazing. Having that as an indicator to progress, if that makes sense. That's quite cool too. Different techniques you bring into training, which you don't see in an everyday gym.
Yeah, I'm loving being able to do that with you and do a velocity-based training, 3-week progression, volume, load up, and then a deload week. I'm keen to see how that goes for you over this off season.
Yeah.
See if we can get that explosiveness and agility.
Yeah, the most exciting thing about that is that you tell me a number, I hit that number, I say, what's next? what number do we have to hit next? 1.52, and I'm loving it.
What are you trying to hit? 1.3 on your front squat, band and front squat the other day.
1.57 was the top one.
And I was just like, all right, 1.6, go for it, chase it.
Exactly. So, just constantly being in here, constantly challenge you mentally, physically, to be the best athlete you can become, which is what you want.
Looking forward and looking ahead to next season, what are your ambitions? Coming back from New Zealand, you've come into ADP, and you're looking forward to it. What's next for you? Well,
it's a massive off season now, and I know I've been helping Gordon coming back for the past 4 weeks, but Monday's day one of off season until we go back to New Zealand, hopefully in February, whether that's at my current club or a different club. But I've set myself a goal that you have to make Heartland Championship minimum, which is probably a level below Mitre 10. or might attend development, or might attend. I mean, I'm being pretty hard on myself that I have to achieve this now. But I know that if we work together, I'll get my body right to be able to perform on the field in the next 6 months' time from now.
Yep. How good. Thanks, Fergus. Cheers for coming in, mate. Great to have you back in
No worries,
Australia.
mate. Cheers for that.
Cheers, mate.